the screen where it says "Your Life."
Okay, and we are live. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. This is Crypto Friday. Welcome to one and all. You are on the show today with Jamie from BriallianceX. Now, we are going to have an AMA session today. So it's going to be something different. And before we start, of course, first of all, I apologize. We are a bit late on this live show itself. But without further ado, again, I'm going to have Jamie introduce himself and tell us a bit about where he's come from, his background, and what he's going to talk about today. So over to you, Jamie.
Yeah, hi everyone. My name is Jamie Askew. I'm the founder of BriallianceX, a project we're very excited about. We recently announced with LATOKEN that we are going to be doing the IEO and listing shortly. So I think the IEO is going to start next week or something. So our company, our business is basically focused on precious stones and precious metals. So we are looking at bringing in tangible assets or tangible projects into the crypto space. So of course, a lot of cryptos don't have, there are a lot of untangibles, but so our projects are mainly in Southeast Asia. Southeast Asia has huge potential for precious metal and precious stone exploration. It's relatively unexplored area with there has been a lot of seismic activity in the past. So there's brought up a lot of different resources that are just sitting there waiting to be explored and managed and produced and of course sold to the benefit of the BriallianceX people. So we are going to be developing these projects now that COVID is pretty much nearing its end of the travel restrictions for us. Anyway, I'm Canadian, so I'll be vaccinated shortly and I'll be able to fly wherever I have to go. So now that that's passed, we're working on bringing some, we have 3 projects, which is 2 gold projects and a diamond project in Southeast Asia that we're going to be focusing on. And concurrently at the same time, through BriallianceX, we are building the Brilliance collection of precious stones. So my office is in Singapore, so we will be bringing, well, over time, a significant collection of precious stones will be held by BriallianceX, will be held by the BriallianceX crypto holders. And we actually are going to be creating what I call fungible NFTs with them. I mean, NFTs are a big thing now. But when we actually we're looking to put precious stones into an e-commerce platform and to be able to be purchased by crypto, it was something we had been thinking of. We were kind of bouncing around different ideas. And about, well, a while back, I bought some NFTs for my daughter. I said, hey, we should be doing this with the precious stones. So the NFTs will be, each stone will have its own token. Some of the tokens will be contained within BriallianceX. Some of the stones will just stay within BriallianceX. They will not probably be sold. We'll probably just hold them over time. But we will have certain stones that will go up and be able to purchase with BriallianceX tokens only. The special stones. These are really some of the rarest, beautiful stones anywhere. Mainly for the rest of 2021, we'll be focusing on rubies and sapphires. I think that's where the biggest opportunity is at the moment. But of course, I do have a background in diamonds, and also we're looking at emeralds. So with the e-commerce platform we're developing alongside the NFTs, people will be able to actually use the BriallianceX crypto tokens, and they will be able to switch their tokens into precious stones. So precious stones and crypto have a lot in common in the fact that you could just basically easily to transfer, right? Basically, someone would give us the tokens they bought on LATOKEN, and we would give them a stone. Basically, it's pretty simple. So we certain stones we will only be issuing via our token, so via BriallianceX, but those will be the special stones. Some real rare, some bigger stones. But we will also have the platform. So for some of the smaller stuff, we'll be able to accept other cryptos. So like Bitcoin or even fiat. But eventually we should be able to accept most cryptos and convert them directly to BriallianceX, right? So hopefully the crypto market keeps pumping up and everyone's making lots of money, and then you'll be able to switch your crypto into our stones at some point here in the next, probably in the next 3-4 months, once we get things up and going. So yeah, so there's a lot of, so these projects, they create a lot of value. They're very large projects in an area that is very low cost to operate. We are operating at a fraction of the costs in that area compared to what you'd operate in like Canada or US or Australia, right? So there is some challenges, but we do have good partners that we are very happy with. So we're going to develop them into a crypto. And I don't really think there has been any gold discoveries or diamond discoveries done through cryptos. So generally when you make a big discovery, things get pretty good, right? Things go up pretty good. So one of the issues with the diamonds, there's actually back last year, the largest natural fantasy colored diamond mine in the world closed in the Argyle diamond in Australia. So now the prices of diamonds has been going up quite a bit, even though with COVID, the special stones, the bigger stones, some of the pinks are, over $1 million a carat. The blues are, $3+ million a carat. So there is a huge demand for another diamond mine, right? And we think we have a good chance of bringing that forward into the market. So these are all very valuable for BriallianceX. So there's a little bit of everything in our project, but we're really focused on the precious stones. I think as economies recover, as the wealth has been accumulated, people are going to be spending, right? People are going to be buying luxury items. And of course, the ultimate luxury item is the precious stone, right? So we also have some gold projects we're working on. They're early stage exploration projects. So we will do some work on those this fall, and then either take those into production or bring in some partners or sell it off. And of course, when we sell something off, then it comes back into BriallianceX, and we might buy it back to tokens or something like that. But so these are very high growth projects. We think of in a crypto, I mean, that's what you want. I think the investors are looking for high growth potential, multiples of every time. So we've basically de-risked these projects. We know they're there. We've got everything lined up, and there was some delays because of COVID, but now, like I mentioned, COVID's pretty much almost behind us. So it's going to be a good opportunity. And because of COVID, of course, things have it has created some soft spots in the precious stone market. So there's some good opportunities to accumulate some stones from some parties that need the capital, right? They need capital. They need help developing. So of course, Singapore being one of the financial centers of the world and one of the top stone trading centers in the world, with Dubai and Hong Kong, all the stones will be coming out into Singapore. They'll be graded in Singapore and held in Singapore. The NFT stones, we probably have about 20 to 25 by the end of the year. NFTs, probably rubies and sapphires. And with those NFTs, we might, like I said, we might actually list them on exchange. Maybe LATOKEN will want to put them up or something. But so, and then we, over time, we will just continually be bringing out stones. I mean, we're only looking for the top stones. We're not planning on bringing any lower quality. These is probably, the top 1% of the 1% stones, right? So these will be really special stones that most people have never seen, and we think it creates a lot of value for BriallianceX. It creates a lot of buzz, and eventually, as over time, as we develop our projects, mining projects, and we have some other projects that people have sent to us that we'll review when we can travel a little bit more. Eventually, over time, the mining projects will either go into production, they will be sold, and if that happens, the money that comes in from the sales or the production will be used to build a huge precious stone collection, the Brilliance collection. So we expect BriallianceX at some point in the future to be basically one big collection of precious stones. So it could be, 5 billion, 10 billion or whatever, but and that will all be sitting probably mostly in Singapore, and that will actually be a crypto with a tangible asset, right? Because I mean, a lot of the cryptos don't actually have any tangibles, so we want to build something that has real value, something you can touch, something you can feel, and we think it's huge. It's a huge growth opportunity over the next few years.
Tell us a bit about your future plans, Jamie. Is there a chance of you opening up perhaps a chain of retail outlets in and around Asia?
Well, we're actually going to have some showrooms. We actually did a deal to have a showroom up in Manila, which is a great place with some big casinos. But these are very valuable stones, so it costs a lot just to put them in a showroom, right? So if you go into some of the high-end jewelry stores, you're basically paying probably twice as much as what we'll be offering the people, the BriallianceX holders, right? So retail is about at least 35% of your cost is retail. So we actually have our strategy is actually to have like a virtual showroom where we can have the stones in a vault or a bank close by, and in our showroom basically just show the stones virtually. So we'll show the NFTs, we'll show the stones that are on an NFT, and if someone's really interested in it, we can just walk them over to the bank, right, where it's safe and secure, because we're very cost conscious. We don't want to, and of course there is also more security risk, right, when you just have stones sitting around, right? So we're like, if you look at Singapore, for example, you're in Singapore, you go to the jewelry stores, you basically see jewelry, right? You see beautiful pieces, it's really nice stuff, but the cost of those are so much higher than what we're offering to everyone. We're really focused more on just the single stones. So people would buy the stone, they would use their BriallianceX crypto to exchange it with us. And then they take it wherever, they stick it in their pocket and they're gone, right? So we're not so much focused on jewelry per se, but at some point we may do some like bespoke pieces and hold them in the Brilliance collection, and maybe do an NFT with them or something, and just hold them as a tangible asset long term into the future.
Got it. And for those of you who have just recently joined us, welcome to the show again. This is Crypto Friday, and today we have an AMA session with BriallianceX. Now, BriallianceX is all about precious metal stones. We're looking at precious stones, gold and diamond at the moment. So the business is based around that ecosystem itself. Now, this being an AMA session, you can actually get involved. So we are now streaming across multiple platforms. So do connect with us. Post your questions down there. Our moderators will pick it up, and we will then feature them on the show. Now, moving on, Jamie, for those who don't understand, or for those who don't know what NFTs are and FNFTs are. Could you just give them an introduction to it, and why did you pick it for the token?
Well, the non-fungible tokens are basically when you put well, what has been happening is there's been like art's been going in. I know Marvel did a creation where they were, they're selling digital art in an NFT, and we said, well, we want to sell digital projects or products, but we want to sell. We also want a physical asset to back it, right? So that market it really has to do with the collector's market. I mean, the precious stones, the baseball cards. I know someone today sold for a couple $1 million. It's a very long-term collecting, right? A lot of people buy precious stones and never sell them, right? People generally pass them on to their next of kin. They pass them. When they keep them for years, and they move down the families, right? So this is a way to tokenize precious stones, right? Individual stones, right? So I think it'll really catch on. I know there's a lot of there's talk of art being tokenized, but so the NFTs will be all underneath the BriallianceX, which is holds all our projects, right? Which is for people who participate in our IEO. They'll have the benefits of all the projects combined. So we think it should turn out pretty good.
Got it. And for those who just picked that up as well, now BriallianceX is going to be on LATOKEN. It's going to be an IEO. You can participate. You can join from the start and support the project. Really look into it if you are into precious stones, gold, diamonds. Now we've heard what is BriallianceX. Talk to us, Jamie, about perhaps future plans. What's in that long-term plan for BriallianceX after the IEO?
Well, after the IEO, our 6-month plan, which is not long-term, of course, we'll be going to get the paperwork done on everything finalized on the gold and diamond projects, and that's usually when. Traditionally, when you have those announcements, that's usually when you have a big jump in valuation. So we would expect a big move on that going towards the end of the year. And then, of course, we will start bringing the stones out of the jungle, basically out of the jungle, into Singapore and get them graded and get them up and create NFTs with them. And then start marketing them or hold them. So that'll be the next 6 months, and then going into next year, we'll develop the platforms, the offices, the virtual offices to sell the stones. We'll work on the mining projects and maybe even take one of the gold projects into start production, and then. And we'll review different mining projects. I mean, we're really interested in diamond projects that have diamond potential because there is a huge demand for diamond mining properties. So we'll develop these projects over the next 5-10 years and develop the collection of stones. And hopefully in 10 years from now, BriallianceX is holding $10-20 billion of precious stones. And that's and BriallianceX crypto token is basically one big collection, right?
Right, and there is an opportunity for those who hold the tokens to actually get, let's say, prize collections that are not available in the wider scale of things. Correct?
That's
correct. The whole idea.
Yeah, that's correct. So. The stones that will be coming out, they will be offered. First, it'll be offered to the BriallianceX holders. So that for whatever time, a week or 2 weeks or whatever. So people who hold the token, of course, will be able to buy it. So hopefully from this level, whoever's bought, it's appreciated a lot, so they get a bigger stone. But of course, also what that's going to do is going to create demand for people at the time who don't own the token, will need to buy the token, right? So they can get the stone. So so that should help push up the price, reduce supply, increase demand for the token itself.
Got it. I think it's also important that we touch on the industry itself and the whole ecosystem of precious stones, golds, diamonds. Could you give us an introduction, perhaps maybe a short history lesson, and talk to us about the opportunities within precious stones?
Well, precious stones and precious metals such as gold have been increasing over the last few years, if anyone follows the financial markets. And a lot of it has to do with, of course, as different demographics are moving up from lower class into middle class, people want to have beautiful things, right? People want to have more gold. They want to have more stones. Because in the end, people make money to buy pretty things, right? They want to buy, a ring, a wedding ring, a necklace or something. So the gold and diamond business is, over 6,000 years, right? Old, right? People have been collecting stones forever. But the thing is now that there's been a lot of the big deposits. I mean, I'm Canadian, so a lot of the big discoveries have been made here in Canada, where I'm right now. But as I mentioned earlier, the Southeast Asia has barely been explored. I mean, we've seen some potential for some huge discoveries, some very huge discoveries, and it needs some work, of course. But we do believe there is huge discoveries to come out of Southeast Asia in the next few years. The big gold companies are all, they're having trouble finding more big deposits. Their what's called reserves, how much gold they have, they know they have in the ground, has diminished significantly over the last 5-10 years. So people are looking for a big discovery, and of course, the bigger the discovery, the more it's worth, and it's very valuable. The production costs of, gold's at $1,700 an ounce, but the production of gold is under 1,000. So it's good money if you're producing gold, right? If you're selling at 1,700 and you're producing for 1,000, it's good. It's good returns, right?
Got it. Yeah, you're right. To kind of point that out, if those who know the cost, then you will know the benefits as well. Talking about the tokens now, say if the token holder, give us a little bit more on the privileges of being a token holder. Can they participate in some project management? Can they dictate the direction of the company, or what are some of the additional benefits?
Well, it'd be hard to have someone dictate the direction of the company. I mean, of course, we want to build a community of our projects. So when we get back in the field, we will have our YouTube and we're going to show people like what's going on. We'll actually be the first that will show, hey, like this is what we're doing. This is the procedure. This is how it goes. This is where the value is from. So the community, the BriallianceX community, will basically see like what's going on, right? And of course, along with the discoveries, they'll know about it. Of course, if they're following on the YouTube, they'll know before others. So, and as we were talking about earlier, I think the big benefit of the holders is that they will be able to exchange their crypto tokens for the stones. But I mean, these are potentially multi-billion-dollar projects. So I'd expect a big jump in the valuation and the appreciation of the crypto token itself, right? Because as you increase this is tangible assets. So it's hard to say what's going to happen in the crypto space when you have something that's tangible. worth that kind of value. So I think we should see quite a big move upwards in the next, in the next short term, long term. But there is, of course, crypto is quite volatile, and usually things that have to do with mining is quite volatile as well. So it kind of goes hand in hand. So there'll be trading opportunities, and there'll also be some good long-term opportunities to buy and hold.
Okay, so what is your crypto strategy at the moment, or do you have one at this point? Are you planning to buy back some of these tokens in the future, perhaps burn them? How does it work at the moment? Could you give us maybe some insights on that?
In the future, it's probably 2 or 3 years out. We actually do plan to buy them back and burn them, because eventually, we're going to take some of these projects, either get cash flow from them, like a gold project or a diamond project, and then we take that money and buy back the tokens. Of course, then you get a big, it moves up from that. But of course, when we are buying back, well, not really buying back, but we're exchanging for stones, we're in a way buying back or burning some of the tokens there too, right? So we want to increase supply when needed, but we don't want to be, unlike a lot of the cryptos that are out there that just keep continually selling tokens forever. We don't want to. Eventually, we will actually probably buy most of them back in time, but by then it should be a lot larger, right?
Got it. And what are your future plans for token holders as well? I mean, how do you plan to keep them engaged constantly? Where do they get their updates, or how can they really learn about this project and even about the team that you are representing at the moment?
Well, I mean, we have a white paper which will be going out in the short term. We'll be able to find out all the information on what we're going on. BriallianceX.com is our website, so that has most of our information. We do have a Facebook, BriallianceX Crypto, and of course I have a LinkedIn too. So, but I do think, as I mentioned earlier, as we get back into the field and we have our YouTube, like showing actual videos of what's going on, because I really want people to be part of the whole process of the exploration, to see what it takes to develop. When you go to a jeweler to see the stone, where it actually comes from, because I know sometimes there's some negative stuff coming out of that, so we just want to show how it's done properly, how the process goes, how the discoveries are made. I mean, because you can, literally, you can make a discovery and right away your project's worth 100 times what it was the day before, right? So that's how the mining project works. So we want people to be as knowledgeable as possible. We do have a lot of we're always easy to contact too, right? So we're always accessible.
Got it. Now it's definitely a great project, and those who are in the industry will then learn to appreciate as well. But what gives you that extra added advantage in BriallianceX? What's your additional USP? How would I compare you with the traditional side of the business then?
Well, the traditional side of the business will actually have an exploration company or a mining company, and they'll basically just explore the mine, they'll sell their product, right? But our difference is that we're actually doing, we're looking to go right from exploration, production, and the marketing side. And where the marketing side is where, people can exchange their BriallianceX tokens for the stones, right? Because there's no, a traditional mining company which is listed on a stock exchange. Obviously, you can't exchange your shares for the product, right? Or most companies that are listed, right? So it is an actual currency that people will be able to use, right? But the advantage is, well, we have some good projects. That's one of the things. But we've done a lot over the years. We've done a lot of work in Southeast Asia. I've done business in 12, at least 12 Asian countries. So we know how to deal with the local people, the local governments, the local cultures. We know how to handle that, and we've never had any problems in the past, and I don't expect any in the future. So I think that's one of our major advantages. We have good partners. We have some good experts. We have a very good diamond expert, Kim, who works with us. So she knows, she's been around the business for 25 years in diamonds. So we're always able to find good people to work with us and to partner with us. And I think it's probably because we are pretty straightforward. We really are fair. We're trying to help. I mean, when you develop projects in countries, some of the countries in Southeast Asia, have some social issues, right? I mean, they're poor countries, they need help developing, right? So if you can help them develop properly, obviously, and help them get their product out into a place like Singapore, which is a wealthy country and has lots of buyers for gold and precious stones, you're doing a good thing, right? So we're doing, there's a humanitarian side. We're proud of to help these countries and people that are basically asking for us to help them. I mean, they're very smart. They know what they're doing, but they kind of need a little support on bringing things out. I would say is one of the biggest, and we know how to do that. Is to bring it out and treat everyone fair. I guess that's really one of the most important things, I would say.
Got it. And to potential investors, people, or those who are in your community who are interested in the project today, speak directly to them. Tell them about the top priorities that they should be looking into when dealing with BriallianceX or looking at BriallianceX.
Well, I mean, the one thing I know, there's a lot of people that are interested in crypto, right? So I get a lot of questions, like people asking me about this, asking me about that. And there's a lot of speculation in crypto, and of course, speculation is fine. But I think for people are confused. There's a lot of confusion on crypto, how to get in, how it works, because some of them, some of the cryptos are hard to understand. I mean, they've done great. That's awesome, but I think a lot of people have issues on understanding some cryptos. And of course, a lot of them have moved up a lot, right? So for what I'm saying to people who are interested in our projects, we have, as I mentioned, we have mainly de-risked the projects. This is a crypto that is pretty straightforward. It's not really, it's based on actual tangible, it's not, it's based on tangible projects. It's quite simple in the, in its structure. It's we're putting in some high value projects. We're putting in some crypto related things like NFTs, and of course, everyone, I think probably most people are interested in precious stones at some point, right? So I would hope that the early people that get in on the IEO and early days, I mean, I hope they have a huge return and they get a bigger stone from us in a couple of years, right? Hopefully we go up 100 times and everyone gets a big stone. So so that's really what I would say to people. If you're interested in diamonds, rubies, sapphires, emeralds, precious stones, I mean, I think we're the only crypto out there that's doing that. So yeah, it'd be great to have people in with us on our projects, because we're really excited about it. We put a lot of background into this, a lot of thought. We want to make sure it's fair for everyone. We want the holders to have a very big return. That's what it's designed for. It's designed to create value, right? To create real value in the crypto space.
Got it. And talk to us also about your marketing plans. I mean, what should the community out there be looking out for? Is there some dates that you would like to share, or is there some concrete plans that you have in mind already?
Well, we haven't finalized the dates, but the IEO is scheduled to start next week from what we've talked earlier in this week. So we'll be getting, and then we'll run it for, we haven't finalized, I think up to 4 weeks was the plan, and then we'll start trading. So for us, we really, of course, want to get as many people in as possible. I think we're probably going to do an airdrop. We've been talking about that, but we haven't finalized that too. So we want to get as many people in, because in the end, basically everyone who owns BriallianceX also becomes a potential customer, right? Because once people see these stones, which are going to, blow people's, minds off, they're going to say, hey, these guys have some like really nice stuff. You should, show their friend. You should buy this crypto, or you should, buy the stone, right? That's really what we're after, developing a community of crypto investors and crypto community of people that are interested in collecting and purchasing stones. Just the precious stone collection is it's a huge market, right? But one of the issues in recent years with the price of fancy colored diamonds getting so expensive, now people are starting to look down at rubies, sapphires, and so on, because you can get the cost base is much lower, right? So so there's a huge opportunity in the rubies, sapphires, and emeralds. That's really a real growth area. I mean, you're starting to see some. In the last few years, you've seen a lot of the engagement rings have a sapphire. I think that's going to continue, blue sapphires. But I think it's just the luxury business is going to bounce back big, right, over the next few years, because it's been really in the dumps in the last year because of COVID, right? So there's been a lot of money made in different markets, the crypto markets, in stock markets and whatever. But I mean, this is pretty soon. Every crypto is going to be able to convert into BriallianceX to buy precious stones, right? So I think that's a big market. It's a huge market. It's hard to even fathom how big of that market it is.
Got it. And then we have a question here as well. Talk to us about the security and privacy of this when it comes to precious stones, when it comes to you storing it as well. Could you give our viewers out there something to kind of picture and imagine at the moment?
Well, yeah, I mean, security is very important, obviously. I mean, these could be multi-million-dollar stones, and we've dealt with multi-million-dollar stones in the past. So one of the big groups that ships them is Brinks, of course. Brinks ships stones, Malcolm Mid. In Singapore, there's actually what's called the Singapore Freeport. So we plan to store stones in the Freeport, which is one of the most heavily guarded places in the world for delivery of stones. So when people switch their BriallianceX stones to or the BriallianceX tokens to stones, anywhere up to $100,000, we actually can just FedEx them. They're sure, but anything after that, you do need secure, like Brinks would be delivering the stones, or of course a person could pick them up. But the delivery is literally from the vault to wherever the person wants, right? So if they want them at the North Pole, we can deliver it there, right? They'll deliver anywhere. So, but yeah, security is very important. You always have to have the rate secure, because obviously, I mean, places like Singapore aren't as bad. I mean, you see people walking around with $1 million earrings on and so on, right, all the time. But yeah, but in some of the other places, you have to be very secure, and you have to deal with the governments. You have to, they have to let them know what's going on, because they want security too. So you just have to let everyone know and keep security guards around. But it is an issue that does add up on the cost, right? So, but one of the good things about Singapore too, of course, it is such a secure city. So you don't have to worry as much as you might have to in other countries.
Yeah. Then I think that pretty much even takes us to the end of the show. Sorry. Is there anything else that you want to tell the community looking into BriallianceX today? Or is there anything else that you want to talk about? You want to give a shout out to those who are looking and anticipating for the IEO?
Well, I mean, I would just, to summarize, I mean, I would say if people are interested in precious stones, we're really this is a very high growth story. It's not just about buying a stone and the stone appreciating. It's about developing the projects. And that's really where the big returns come in precious stones and gold. It is, we've basically, as I mentioned too, we've also de-risked a lot of these projects. These projects have been, you know, there's been a lot of work behind them. They're not, the partnerships, everything, there's a lot of thought has gone into it. We're pretty sure what we have is accurate. So that's what I would tell the people, that, and really when it gets down to it, the biggest growth is opportunities is really in, because if you make it a major discovery, well, then you have a major jump up in your token price, in the value, right? It could be 100x or whatever. So it does have that type of potential with pretty little risks. So that's what we're looking for. Or this project is designed for the token to go up. It's designed for, if the token's going up slowly, there's different ways, like selling stones, where we hopefully can buy it back and move it up. So we have everyone's, I know everyone is thinking, hey, I want my token to go up, and that's really what we want to. We want it to go up. That's really what the target is. So we're always available to chat on our Facebook. It has some links and so on. And as time goes on, even after the IEO, we'll always be available on social media or even on the phone. We'll be able to talk all the time. So we'll always keep in communication. We're very proud of this project, and we're happy to talk about it anytime.
Great. And I think with that, Jamie, before we leave and part ways for today, just a quick message to everyone viewing in as well. Remember that BriallianceX will be on LATOKEN. The IEO is scheduled for next week. So keep in tune, keep in touch, join all our socials, and look for BriallianceX as well. Give us a few plugs before you leave, Jamie. Where can the community find you? Perhaps drop us some links and tell us what's the best way to kind of connect and talk about it more.
If people want to go to our website, BriallianceX.com, actually that'll give us, there's some videos there and about mining in Asia. And also there's our direct email contact. And then of course on Facebook, BriallianceX Crypto. I think that would probably be the best ways to get through to us at this point. But I think the website's the best, just because we can respond directly to any questions people might have. And of course, I'm sure on the airdrop we're going to be working on, I'm sure we'll be adding a significant amount to social media. So, yeah, but that's all being developed. The social media is being further developed.
Excellent. So look out for it again, ladies and gentlemen. BriallianceX will be available starting next week. Read up, keep in touch, and let's wait for them to launch. Jamie, again, thank you for your time. Thank you for today. You have a great day, Jamie.
Yeah, you too. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.